Hello and welcome back. In today's video, we'll talk about four important scientific management terms, which are just-in-time, lean manufacturing, Kaizen, and Six Sigma. Let's get into the video. The first one is just-in-time technology. This is a type of manufacturing technology. Normally, what will happen? Companies will have a basic idea of, a rough estimate of how much demand could be there in the market. Then they will produce X number of quantities. Let's say you are selling shampoos. Now, if you don't apply just in time, if you go by the normal production methodology, you will manufacture, say, 10,000 units at one shot, do a bulk manufacturing, and then you will keep pushing your salesmen to go aggressively on the market and try to sell that 10,000 units. Let's say you have a good time and you have a good brand value and you don't have much of competition, you will end up selling this 10,000 units much quickly. But let's say the competition is heavy, which is most likely the case, and let's say you also don't have that much of a market share. Now, your salesmen, no matter how much hard they try, they will not be able to sell this 10,000 units that much faster. So what will happen, even after so much work, you would have only sold 3,000 to 4,000 units in the market. So what happens to the other 6,000, 7,000 units? It will be lying in your godown unnecessarily. This is the normal system. So what the factories have decided, they decided to employ this concept called just-in-time methodology. In this just-in-time, they believe that first they will take the exact unit. They will not do estimation out of this. They will take an exact order of how much demand is there. They will let their salesman go, or they will get orders from their buyers themselves. So they will total all the orders that they got for this particular quarter or this particular month. Let's say the order turns out to be 5,500 units. Then the factories exactly will produce 5,500 units. So that way, right when they finish their production, they will immediately dispatch the finished goods. They will not have any excess inventory lying unsold inside the warehouse. Why? Because the 5,500 units was the actual demand, which they already took count from the market itself, and they are quite sure of that. So there is no chance of having excess production and that is lying idle. Okay, so with that, let's go to the next term, lean manufacturing. Again, lean manufacturing is similar to just-in-time. Just-in-time particularly focuses on inventory aspect, but lean manufacturing focuses about reduction of every unnecessary cost. In one of the previous lectures, when we talked about the standardization and simplification of work, I also mentioned about this elimination of unnecessary feature, function, part or component in a product or service. And I gave you a comparison between an assembled gaming PC versus a Mac Mini. So how Mac Mini is much more efficient, much more lean. It was so small, but it was almost able to or even outperform what a gaming PC, assembled gaming PC can do. Because the assembled gaming PC is also quite heavy and it has lots of unnecessary components like fancy lights and etc. The same line of thinking people apply inside a whole factory, a whole company itself. That is lean manufacturing. When I used to work in corporate, when I toured the factory, our job is to make sure that every part of a factory is running only to the minimum requirement, which means we have to find out, is there any unnecessary extra resource employed and it's not giving any output for me. For example, if a particular workstation, say it deserves only 3 workers to be there, which means there is only work for 3 people in that workstation. But let's say the production department employed 5 people in that. So isn't it that I'm paying extra wages for 2 people? And don't you think that it will go for 12 months? Don't you think that it will eventually have an extra cost on the overall factory's profit and loss account? Don't you think it will increase the production cost? So my job is to give a recommendation to the management that in this workstation, 2 people are overemployed. Either redistribute them into a place where there is a real demand there could be also a place where there is under recruitment of work. Maybe in some workstation there is a genuine need for 6 people there, but only 4 people would have been employed there. So redirect this 2 people to that workstation so it will be matched. And also, let's say there is no such case in the rest of the factory, then these 2 people should be sent home. So you cannot keep paying wages for people who are not required in the first place. So this is not just about sending employees or unnecessary workers back to home. This is also about eliminating an unnecessary machine that is lying idle. Let's say because a machine is lying idle in a factory, the storage space is occupied. Okay, isn't it? So it will also cost you money. So if a machine is not giving you output, better to sell that machine, clear the space. So you will either pay less and less rent, or at least you will use that space for some other purpose, which can ultimately make you money. So that is lean manufacturing. So the third point that we will see today is Kaizen. This Kaizen is a Japanese concept which they started employing in all their factories after the Second World War. Now we have a good image about Japanese factories and the products made in Japan. So made in Japan has become a good trustworthy name, isn't it? So that is because after the World War, all Japanese factories started employing this concept called Kaizen, which roughly translate into English as constant and never ending improvement. So the improvement is always constant. It doesn't talk about big breakthrough changes. It's not like 180-degree shift in thinking. It's about the tiny 1%, 2% improvement. But Japanese started to adopt this concept pretty much in every walk of their life. The Japanese factories will adopt, even, is there a better way for me to throw this waste inside dustbin? Can I do this in a much more efficient way? So that is Kaizen. So not just in big areas, even an area that we find it trivial, say waste management, garbage disposal, Japanese adopted that attitude. So inside that trivial aspect also, thereby when every production process inside a factory gets streamlined, keep on improving, it will have a compounded growth in a very long period of time. You must have heard about this book called Atomic Habits, isn't it? The 1% improvement, which is a quite famous book, which I highly recommend for all students to read. So this 1% improvement, tiny improvement, largely is based on this Kaizen concept only. And lastly, we have this term called Six Sigma, which talks about extreme prioritization for quality, to make the products extremely filled with quality. So Six Sigma, you can call yourself Six Sigma only when you have 3 to 4 defects per million units of output, which means you should have 99.9999% of good quality output, which means you should not have 0.0001% defects only in your entire output. The example we can see here is the Dabbawalas. You must have seen the case study of Dabbawalas in chapter 1 under the coordination subtopic. So Dabbawalas carry lunch boxes from the worker's house to their workstation. The worker's house will be located somewhere in suburbs, which could be 25-30 kilometers, and the workplace will be in the middle of city. So Dabbawalas will collect the lunch from the house, and they will have this sorting and distribution system. And finally, a different person who is responsible for that particular locality will end up delivering it to the exact right at the desk of the employee. So this they will do with extreme accuracy. I asked you to have a look at the videos on YouTube on how Dabbawalas do this sorting system. They have only one mistake across 6 million deliveries. This I checked on Wikipedia. You can also have a check if you want. Only one mistake across 6 million deliveries. Imagine 60 times they will deliver. In those 60 times, only one time, either they misdeliver it to somebody else, or they may, maybe lose the tiffin box on the way. Something. The failure rate is only 1 among 6 million deliveries or 60 lakh deliveries. Imagine the quality of the output or the success rate. So that is Six Sigma for you. So I hope you understood the concepts we discussed today. In the next class, we will talk about fails management principles. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.